boys and girls, and welcome back. I have not been streaming for about a week, but now it's Friday. It's almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's finally weekend, and I'm back with a new game for streaming purposes. The game itself is not new. I played it before, and it's been out for quite a while. It's called Battle Brothers, and I will be presenting and showcasing this tonight. And I intend to post it on YouTube as a reference source for anyone interested in the game itself. Let's see, when was Battle Brothers released? I'm checking Steam as we talk. Store page maybe. It's 24th of March 2017. Alright. So it's been out for 3 years. I played it a little bit over 100 hours, so I played it quite a lot. It's a game that I thoroughly enjoy. I would call it an tactical mercenary RPG. What you basically do is you manage a team of mercenaries in a random fantasy land, as you can see here on the screen, with various factions and terrain. I am playing a heavily modded version. It's been a very long time since I played this, so I'm going back to a save game, and I'm really rusty and don't know what's going on, and I can't remember a lot. I'm playing on a fairly high difficulty level, veteran. I don't even remember if there's a higher difficulty level like nightmare. I believe there is. This might be difficulty 2 out of 3, but it's quite challenging. Also, even more noticeable is that I am playing on hardcore mode, which doesn't allow saves, so there's no save scumming, which makes the game very exciting and very challenging. So there we go. Battle Brothers. Well, so this will be a bit of a repetition for me, as well as for any potential viewer watching this on YouTube and curious about um, this game, Battle Brothers. The game takes place on 2 levels. This strategical map, which is the country, you travel around on these roads and visit different settlements, villages and castles. And as you can see by the standards, the flags, there are different factions. My mercenary band is this time it's called Battle Brothers, which is not very inventive. I've had the Black Crows and the Iron Fist, and you can name your obviously you can name your mercenary band, and the purpose is to make them as strong as possible, obviously, as successful and survive as long as possible. And as you can see here, let's start with the band itself. There's a roster where you have terrain movement modifiers. I think that's modded. I'm not sure if you got that in the standard version. And below that you have the company, and you can see all the different members of it. There's a captain, there's a poacher, slinger, juggler, noble house soldier. They have each character have a background. They also have a level, so my characters are from level 1 to level 8. And level 8 doesn't sound very high, but it is. I played 52 days, and obviously these guys are from I think they are from the very first characters I got in the group. So a level 8 soldier is a very experienced soldier and very skilled, and whereas level 1 are newly recruited. In the original game I think you can have maybe 18 soldiers, that's a guess. Now you can have 27. Maybe there's few, maybe it's only 12 soldiers you can have, mercenaries in your group. But in this modded version you can have 27. And then you say to yourself, well, wouldn't that make the game too easy? Well, a lot of the newly recruited guys are basically cannon fodder. They have weak equipment and they have very weak skills. So they die quite a lot. Um, you carry around a stash of armor and weapons and shields and arrows and loot and also trade materials like these copper ingots. I bought them and I'm hoping to sell them in a different village for a profit, obviously. Um, you have different formations, but if there's a tent, a lot of red icons, these guys are wounded from earlier battles. So they are not in a reserve status, so they will not participate in a battle and a meeting encounter on the map. If I set up camp, which might be a modded feature actually, I'm not sure the vanilla game features camps. Last time I played, I was attacked in camp with a lot of wounded characters that I removed their heavy equipment and given them to other characters. So these dire wolves rushed into my camp and actually killed some high-level characters that were wounded and didn't want to participate in the fight, didn't have armor and weapons. But they were in the fight because I had not attacked the wolves on the field. They came to my camp and attacked me. Very bad. Each character, let's check out my main, I'd say the main character. I'm not saying I am playing this character, but I think he's like the main character of my group. It's Sigmund the Sergeant. He's one of the two level 8 characters, just so we get a feel of the game and knows what it's a little bit about. He's been with the company for 51 days, and it's been active for 52 days. So maybe I recruited him on the second day. 51 days. 51 days. Well, there's no one that's been in the company for 52 days. So I guess... Okay, these three guys, Dieter, level 8, and Leif, they've been with the company for 51 days. I think that's... he's been part of 33 battles, 24 kills. He's level 7. And he's an archer. And so is Dieter. Well, that's probably why they survived. 34 battles. 49 kills. So these guys are my... This is probably how I started the company. The mercenary company. So, Sigmund the Sergeant, he is carrying the battle standard of the company, the mercenary company. Allies at a range of 4 tiles or less receive 10% of the resolve. And resolve is like the morale of the character. So this guy, he gives morale to all. That's why he's in the center. And it can also be used as a pole arm, so you can reach 2 tiles, 2 hexes, 2 squares on the map board when you so he can fight. He's not only wearing a flag. It's quite a good weapon that you get as a quest after a couple of days. It's not that hard to get this battle standard, and it helps the team when it gets because you make a lot of morale checks. And you have a body armor and you have a head armor. He also has a sergeant stash, which gives him more resolve. In his pockets, he's carrying a dagger and some bandages. During combat, you can take these out, but it costs action points. So the stash is here. He's not carrying. This is what he's carrying, Sigmund the Sergeant. Don't know what this hammer represents. Either it is that don't repair this, or it's prioritized. It says in the tutorial when you start a new game in the modded version. I can't remember what that is. I need to find that out. So he has a couple of skills. Impale, which is his regular attack. It does cost different action points and builds up different amounts of fatigue when he uses it. He does his main attack. Then he purchases each level you get a perk, and you can some perks are a skill. So one skill he bought is Inspire. It costs 9 action points, which is, I think each character has 10. So that's basically a full turn. And it costs 30 fatigue, which is a lot. But that means one guy within 4 tiles can get 4 additional action points. So he can actually make a character act more and faster and more efficiently during one turn. I just bought this when he became level 8. I'm not sure this is such a great skill. We'll see. Um, Rally though is a very good skill. When my other group around is kind of wavering and their morale is getting low, he can increase their morale. That's basically what this is. But it costs him almost all his actions. Also, he can bandage because he has bandages in his pocket. He has a bunch of different uh, attributes here. Background captain. A young and brash captain, Sigmund's life at court was not exciting enough for him with endless studying of tactics and strategy. Wearing the house crest proudly, Sigmund rode out to earn glory on the battlefield and see all the wonder and exotic places of the world. Uh, Maybe he is like a runaway noble. When you start the game, you choose what kind of characters you want to start your group with. Then you can recruit any character. There is a certain interaction between the different characters. In the DLC, you can start playing barbarians, and you can have one very powerful character, and if he dies, the campaign is over, even though you're not playing hardcore mode. He is tiny, so he has got 5 plus melee defense. I hope you can see on the screen, otherwise you just have to zoom in. But he makes less melee damage because he's a small guy. He is bloodthirsty. Uh, all kills are fatalities if the weapon allows. Don't quite know what fatalities is. Not gonna Google it either. Don't think it's I think it's a good trait, bloodthirsty. Loyal, yeah, he doesn't run away. Maybe all the starting characters are loyal. I don't know. Noble killer, because he's run away. Well, I haven't been fighting any noble houses yet because I'm trying to build up my reputation as an honorable mercenary captain in the lands. You gain different reputation with settlements. If you fail a mission, which you do frequently, that settlement's gonna dislike you, and your price is gonna be worse when you sell or buy stuff in the village. It's gonna be hard to recruit new mercenaries from that village. So basically, what I is trying to build up reputation. So I'm playing a very honorable company. He's dissatisfied. Well, that is because the company was at its full strength, 27, and it was very strong. I had money, I had decent gear, I had recruited a lot of new characters, invested money, so I had 27. I had a full company. Then I accepted a job of escorting a convoy, and I was attacked by first a large group of goblins, and goblins are very dangerous in this game, at least for my company, which is not very powerful, even though I have 20 characters and decent experience. I'm sure if you use a map that is pre-made to be easy to play, this is a random map, and it's not a very good map. It's not easy to trade. It's not easy to find missions. It's pretty far between the settlements. I haven't really found a corner that I want to build up my reputation most in. I'm basically just trying to survive day to day, and that is day 52. You're supposed to be in a quite stable situation. At least I don't have 5 mercenaries. I have 20, but as you can see, a lot of them are very damaged because after running away from the trying to fight the goblins, waging a rather successful defense and retreat, because your company risks being eliminated by a much more powerful enemy if they attack you. It's a very dangerous game. But I managed to retreat, and I lost that mission, which made the group unhappy, and it made a mercenary unhappy. He died, but the village where he came from unhappy, I suppose. I accepted this escort mission, and I was attacked by regular brigands, thieves, bandits, rogues on the road. And I thought that could be a rather nice fight because they're not overpowered, they don't have any magic. They were 20 and I was 27, and I also had some escorts from the caravan. So I thought I was in a good shape, but I was a bit unlucky in the beginning of the fight, and also individually these guys were more powerful than my newly recruits. So they started taking out, and it was a very close battle. I It could have gone the other way, and almost my entire company would have been eliminated. It was a very hard struggle. As you can see, I am on very low health, very a lot of damaged people, and I lost 7 mercenaries in that fight. Apparently, I think I actually recruited a few since. Yeah, I recruited 2 since I lost the fight. So I lost a third of my company was eliminated. So that's the situation. But I have some money. I have some loot. I have some. I have a lot of helmets, headgear. I have a lot of weapons. What I'm lacking is armor, and armor is very expensive to buy. I try to loot it. So my main goal now is to try to survive, heal up the company, and try to get it back on its feet. Up here in the left corner, you can see I have 6,000 crowns. Yeah, that's okay, because you have a daily pay rate. Mine is 328 crowns per day. So that tells me my company now will last 18 more days. That's a lot. That's almost 3 weeks. I'm very happy with that. So I can take the time to use this money to set up a camp and heal and forage and repair, etc., etc. I have 28 food. That will only I use 72 per day. So I need to buy food or set up a lot of hunting people in my camp. I have only 30 tools and supplies. I can only carry 62. We'll come into carry capacity as well. I have 100 arrows. Those are bolts for crossbows or arrows for a bow and arrow. So they don't differ in the game between throwing weapons, I guess, what's it called? Slings, bolts, and arrows. These are all ammo. I have 59 medical supplies, which is used to heal up. You have to have medical supplies to be able to heal characters on your own, unless you go to a healer in a village. Okay. What else? Well, there's a tent button here. And we can go into a settlement. This looks like a castle. Forest wear. Surrounded by forest, this small wooden keep controls the surrounding woodlands. It has an armorer, and my relations are neutral. So I click on that, and you can see it's a castle. It's a wooden castle. It has an armorer that sells armor. So let's check a very good armor, lamellar harness with 230 defense, which is much better than anything I got. It costs 3,200, so it would be very expensive for me to buy this. The kind of armor I'm using has around 100, 110, 115 basic mail shirts. They cost 500, but it's still expensive. So I don't want to buy anything here, really. Because, yeah, I could afford it, but I'd rather save my money to keep my company alive. What I might buy is these metal plates and rivets, which actually adds 30 durability to an pre-existing. I think I'm gonna do that. Scrap tent. One mercenary's trash is another's treasure. This collection of spare parts will help you turn broken armor and weapons into usable armor, scraps, and tools. Okay, so this is a way to upgrade my camp, but I haven't bought a single upgrade because I haven't had a couple of thousand crowns laying around. So what I'll do is I'll increase one armor already existing by 30 for 400 gold. I think that's a good investment. Other than that, I'm not gonna buy anything in the armor shop. He has small shield, medium shield, wooden shield, and he has a kite shield. Kite shields are very good. The way armor works is that it increases your melee defense. So the small shield increases your melee and range defense by 5, and it only costs. It decreases your maximum fatigue by 4. Okay, so that's an easy shield for a beginning character to wear. Then you go to a wooden shield. That lowers your maximum fatigue by 10, but it gives a lot more melee and range defense. And the kite shield gives you a lot of range defense. It's as good as the wooden shield in melee, but it's a lot better, 10 better when it comes to catching arrows from long range. So and it costs 6 more fatigue. So you have to give this to a character that is a bit more advanced, maybe has lesser armor on him, because armor also decreases your maximum fatigue. And then you can be stand in the shield wall in the front and take a lot of arrows from the enemies. So that shows the progression from the smallest to the mini. I think there are even better shields, but that's not. I have a few kite shields that I put on my most experienced characters. Alright, also in the village there's a marketplace. There is a marketplace in almost every settlement you go to, so you can always sell or buy stuff. But what's in the village? Well, that depends on circumstances, and prices vary. And you should keep a price, a separate paper where you write down. Now it's been such a long time since I played this game, I have no clue what things cost. But usually you can just hover over. Let's see. I needed food, right? Right. So grains, just I guess flour that you make bread, or you can buy bread. Food costs 50, but I have to pay 61. So it's quite expensive to buy food in this village. But I'm gonna buy it anyways because I need food. And there's not a lot of food to buy in this village. Uh, these are medical supplies, but I have quite a lot of that. Their basic price is 200, and here I can buy them for lower than what they're worth, their basic price. So I guess food is more expensive in this village, whereas medical supplies are cheaper than normal. Um, that's a bit complicated for me. So you would imagine roots and berries are cheap as well. So let's buy that. You can buy bags, traveler's sash, that increases the carry capacity of the entire company. I used to have a lot of those that I found from looting, winning battles, but since so many of my characters died, not only did I lose their inherent carrying capacity, it also lost me those sashes. Because when a character dies, you cannot always pick up what he was carrying. Stuff can be destroyed, and you can only loot a fraction of what you actually brought into the battle. Another factor that makes it hard to play this game. Here's a sling. I have one slinger in my company. She's quite skilled with the sling. It's because her setup, background, career, and perks made her kind of available to become a great slinger, and I picked that because that's what I wanted to try out. There is a weapon called a staff sling in the game that I haven't seen yet, but if I find one, I intend to buy one for her. Let's see if we can find her. The slinger of my group. Is she very damaged? I think Hilda is her name. She's been with the company 44 days. She's level 6, so she's quite experienced. She's been in 25 battles and actually killed 10 enemies. She lost her nose. She doesn't have a nose. Characters can gain permanent injuries, so her fatigue is always 10% lower than maximum. That's not good, but at least she's alive. You know, I can live with that. So that's cool. Your characters develop, and they can increase and decrease in values. What else? She's a widow. After her husband's gambling addiction got the better of him, Hilda found herself on the streets, digging into the trash of others and scurrying away from lawmen. While she seems earnest in becoming a mercenary, there is little doubt that all this time on the street and her former marriage have robbed Hilda of her best years. Doesn't say how old she is. She's a survivor. That's probably why she survived that blow to the face. She has a 90% chance to survive if struck down and not killed by a fatality. So that means if she dies in a combat, she actually has a 90% chance to survive. Unless that hit was kind of like a critical hit. I don't quite know what a fatality is. Ironjaw, yeah, she has 25% less chance to gain like these permanent damages, I believe. She's dissatisfied. No one likes the group now. Actually, I had two characters leave after the battle. Maybe I can recruit these guys. That was very bad, but what could I do? She has a sling, a short sword, and her perks are slinger spin and sling mastery and heavy rocks. So that means she's very good with sling. Most characters, if they have 9 lives, that's another thing. If you get a killing blow and die, you survives. You survive. So this is not a game where you save scum and like all your characters gonna go. Maybe if you play the easier version of it, but on veteran, definitely, unless you are very characters gonna die no matter what. I just try to have my less experienced soldiers, mercenaries die. What else? Dodge, yeah. So let's go through the different stats of a character, Hilda or Slinger here. Head armor 70, yeah, that corresponds to rusty mail coif. It has 70 durability. It removes 4 fatigue of her max fatigue, so it's not a very heavy. That's a decent headgear, 70 and minus 4 fatigue for a medium experienced character. That's great. She has a gambison, which is studded heavy padded tunic, 65, minus 6 fatigue. So, and she has a shield, so she can use one hand and she can carry it. And if an enemy gets close, she can pull out her short sword and use it instead of the sling. And she has bandages as well. That removes some fatigue. Alright. She only has 37 hit points. That's very low. I'd say 100 hit points is a lot. 70, 80 for a frontline soldier is good. 37, you definitely want to keep in the back row and be a ranged character. So she should not be engaged. You can gain 37 hits with this armor from one single melee hit, even from a crossbow or bow and arrow. She has 9 action points, which I think every character has, unless there's something that changes it, a skill perk. She has 66 fatigue, which is not great. I'd say 100, over 100 is great. Under 50 is very bad, so she's on the lower scale of fatigue. But as a ranged character, she doesn't have to have that much fatigue. Melee characters need a lot of fatigue more, because everything you do in the game costs fatigue. And as you now understand, 66 is after removing everything from carrying the bandages, the shield, the rusty mail coif, the sling. So everything you carry removes from your maximum fatigue. So she has 66 after carrying all this gear. Her morale is steady. That's okay. I think morale comes from resolve. 26 is definitely on the lower end of the spectrum. She's kind of a coward. But since she'll be staying in the back, maybe close to our sergeant Sigmund, she will gain morale from him and the banner. But I would like to increase both hit points and resolve on this character because they're very low. Initiative 83. That's okay. It's not very high. I wonder what this character. She can't. Widow probably did not have great starting values. That's another thing. When you recruit a character, depending on their background, they will have different starting stats. I'm fairly certain Hilda as a widow was cheap to recruit, but she had pretty crappy stats. Now we comes to melee skill, 69. That's good. She's a good melee fighter. She's good at hitting with her short sword if she equips that. She has 16 range skill, which is decent. Yeah, that's good. 60 is good. So it gives you 60% to hit, but then range and armor and shield and etc. and terrain and lightning and rain and fog and magic is gonna lower that. So if she has 40-50% to hit with her sling, I'm very happy. But it's not bad, 60. She has melee defense 26. That's good. That's actually good. Oh, that is probably including the 15 from the wooden shield. So maybe not that great. And range defense, when someone shoots an arrow at you, that's probably 15 from the shields. And it's okay. She's carrying a shield. Most ranged characters do not carry a shield. That's an advantage with the sling. I need to think about that. Damage, that's how much damage she does. 29 to 47. I think she makes a lot of damage with her sling. The damage of a sling is only 25 to 35, but since she has a lot of skills, and perks that increases this, it goes up to, you can make 47. That's a lot. That's a lot. Her effectiveness against armor. You see, there's a lot of stats in this game that actually makes it. It looks pretty cute and basic and cartoonish, but it's quite a number crunching Excel sheet, hardcore, uh, kind of miniature figure board game. If you played one of those, like Warhammer Fantasy Battles kind of game, it's the same kind of mathematics that like there's tactics and strategy to this game, definitely. Anyway, I'm reading these stats to remind myself what they are as well, not only for the YouTube stream I'm making right now. Let's see, what about the time? I was planning to. Oh, I got a viewer. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Who is it watching me? I haven't figured that out yet. Welcome to the stream in any case. Effectiveness against armor. The base percentage of damage that will be applied when hitting a target protected by armor. Once the armor is destroyed, the weapon damage applies at 100% to hit points. Alright, so I guess 62% goes through the armor and hits the hit points of a target, and 38% will hit the armor itself and actually ruin the enemy's armor, which makes it less likely that I can loot it and repair it. If the armor is, I believe, below 50%, it is automatically destroyed in the combat. So there's, if you're winning an easy battle, you kind of want to not destroy the enemy's armor before you capture them, rout them, kill them, eliminate them, whatever you want to call it, so you can capture as much armor as possible. Especially body armor, I find, is a bottleneck to loot. Okay, chance to hit head is 25%. There's some weapons. Of course, it's a good thing to hit the head. You can lose your nose, but there are not that many builds that relies on having, consistently aim at the head. I think the flail, which is a stick with a chain with a metal ball with spikes on it, has some skills inherent that you can use to hit the head, and it gives greater effect, stun, etc. And sometimes you see a character with the very heavy body armor, but quite a light head armor. Then of course you want to hit the head, and because you make a lot more damage to that enemy. Vision, 8 tiles, hexes. I think that's the normal 8. There are traits and skills that increase that, decrease it. So that's basically it. As you can see, a character can develop a lot of different ways. When you recruit them on level 1, you're not sure. It could be a very good character, it could have good or bad traits, and depending on, I guess, what profession or background they have a lot of different perks. To be honest, in the vanilla game, there's a lot fewer perks. I am almost at a loss to know what all these perks mean. I have a few favorite ones, including this 9 lives, which makes you survive. If I'm unlucky with a high level character and it dies in combat, it survives. It can still gain a lot of permanent damage. I actually had to retire some characters and send them home with some money because they had so many bad handicaps that their total stats, they were experienced, they were good, they had good stats, but their nose was missing, their left leg was missing, I don't know. So your handicaps add up. So anyway, that's my group for now. Let's see, what haven't I gone through yet? So yeah, I will start keeping tabs on what I can buy and sell. But I do think these wolf pelts that I skinned from making combat with wolves, dire wolves, they can be sold for over 100 in certain villages. So I'm not gonna sell any loot here, and I think that would mean that all these other loots would be a better price to sell. I can't remember, and I haven't been lazy enough to not note down all these different prices. I basically just check one, and if it's above 100, it's probably a good price, and then I sell loot in general. But if you play this game seriously, of course you should, like these juv95hrn horns. Yeah, they're worth 375. You're never gonna get that much. But what I want to do is I want to find a village where I'm popular, so the merchants like me, and they give me a good price. And also there are certain events, maybe a market day, or I stopped some bandits from raiding the village, so there's like a good mentality in the village, and I can get a really good price. And then I'd like to get rid of all these for a very good price, and increase my stockpile of crowns. Because long term, I aim to upgrade my camp, which we should go through now. I don't recruit expensive characters. For example, Claire here is the candidate that I can hire. As you can see, her daily wage is 12 crowns. That's not a lot, but 1460 just to recruit her. That's huge. That's very expensive. That's like, well, there are characters that cost 5-6 thousand to recruit, but she is a militia background, which probably means she has good stats. She comes with a good body armor and then some pole arm. What you can do is you can pay 171 crowns just to make a trial with her, and then you can see kind of a lot of stuff. But I'm not gonna recruit her because she's too expensive. She has higher level. I guess she starts on level 3 instead of level 1. So either you recruit a lot of crappy cheap characters, mercenaries, or a few expensive ones. And the game seems to modify itself to the amount of people you have in your group. So maybe having a smaller, more skilled, proficient, more expensive mercenary group is the way to do it. It's more successful. I haven't really tried that. I only played maybe 4 or 5 games, 6 games of this game, so I'm not very experienced with it. But one campaign takes quite a long time. But this group, I started with the Battle Brothers mercenary group to recruit a lot of low characters, and maybe if they survive and become more experienced, yeah, hooray, good for them. But I've lost a lot of characters on the way. And that's all you can do in this village. It doesn't have any quest contracts that you can take to gain money from merchants, etc. Because I can't when there's a castle. I have to have better relations with them. Uh, but I am so in such bad shape with my group that I'm gonna set up a camp right here and now. This is kind of a waste of 328 crowns per day. So I usually try to repair and heal while I travel between and doing different missions quests. Okay, so if you have barter skill, the I guess the total number of crowns you pay out in salaries per day is lowered. And I have a few characters with 2.5%. Hilda the Widow, she even have 5% in barter. So if you want to pay less in salaries, you should recruit characters with a high barter skill. I do think barter skill is a mod. I don't think that's in the vanilla game. The vanilla game is good. The modded game introduces. I'm quite astonished how many features the mod introduces, and I suppose they haven't done anything with the mod because I played this months ago and I just started the game up and it's running, so I'm just gonna go with that. No camp tasks have been scheduled. Alright, this is not in the vanilla game. So I go into camp, time starts running and they start doing their missions in camp. Commander's Tent. The camp system allows your company to be more self-sufficient while out on campaign. Injuries treated, equipment repaired, tools salvaged from old equipment, hunt for food, gather medicine, training, crafting, restock, ammo supplies. Inside the commands, each brother can be assigned to a tent to perform that task. Need food? Assign a couple of brothers to hunt. Need more ammo? Assign Fletcher's tent. In general, the currency of campaign is time. It requires time to perform all the actions. The more brothers assigned to the task, the less time it will take to perform it. While all backgrounds can perform any task, some backgrounds are more suited to the task. Hunters will be better at hunting than the tailors. Company starts out only knowing how to do repairs and rest. Visiting settlements that perform the analogous task will unlock it in the camp. All camp activities can be upgraded by purchasing an upgraded tent variant from a settlement marketplace. Upgraded tents increase performance and many come with significant bonuses. Yeah, that might be why my group is not very successful, because I haven't upgraded any of these, what is it, 8? Let's see. No, actually 10 different activities. Right. Rest. Resting can improve the mood of even the grumpiest brother. I think this could be the fastest way to heal. I'm just gonna put all my characters on rest. Right. So now you see they all have this brown two hands holding each other flag above them. So that all 20 are now resting. And they need to rest because remember, they are upset with losing so many teammates from the last battle. I do think that resting heals up injured kneecap and pierced side 1 to 3 days, 3 to 7 days. So these guys that are injured, they definitely are going to rest. Well, definitely, I say. Well, I think they will just heal up faster if they are allowed to rest. The next tent is healing. I think if you put a good healing character in the tent, they will help all the injured characters. So injuries are a prerequisite for any self-respecting battle brother. The quicker temporary injuries are patched up, the quicker a battle brother can get some more. Assigning brothers to this tent allows them to treat any wounds in the company roster and also help restore health points of any injured brother. Treating an injury requires a cost of medicine and time versus coin in a temple. Yeah, I don't want to do that. The more people assigned to the tent, the quicker injuries will be treated and health points restored. If I upgrade this, then I have 33% increase in treatment speed and 25% decrease in medicine cost. Well, I don't have that, but total healing modifier is 66%. I don't understand that. Where does that come from? Anyway, the game is good because it sorts the best character comes up here. If I change this, you see the characters swap around. So the best healing character I have is Leif. He is 10% healing. I don't have a healer. They're too expensive. Or they're died, or I haven't found one. Well, anyway, he's also good at training and injury. Oh, injury. What the hell is injury 10%? Craft, patrol, training rounds, Fletcher, card gatherer, hunting. Right. Maybe. Yeah. So this guy Leif, he has 10% healing and 10% injury. I think they're both for it. So he's gonna be like the doctor of the camp. Right. So now he's got the green flag with the little medical icon on. Kalle, which is level 1, he's got healing 10% and med consumption 10%. I mean, med consumption plus 10%, I think it is minus 10% actually. He lowers the amount. So he's kind of a doctor as well. So these two guys, this guy, healing 10%. Yeah, why not? Earns the heal. Oh, earns the healer. He's level 1, but he's apparently a healer. He has 100% gathering though. See, these guys don't have any other use for crafting 100%. So do I want to be using him for gathering? Gathering, is that food or is it medical herbs? Yeah. Let's see who's gonna be our gatherer. Turns out Ernst, the healer, is the best gatherer, so he's gonna gather medicine instead of help healing. He's as good as the other two guys that are they're not doctors, but they're the ones tending to the wounded in the camp. Now, repair tent. I suppose a lot of my gear is damaged. And it's very expensive to repair it in a armorer or weapon crafter's shop. So I'm gonna use these 30 tools and supplies, and my best repair guy is Adelmar. He's not very good, 10%, but he's the guy who's gonna repair stuff. Workshop. Uh, I think in the workshop you break down and reuse equipment in your stash. So do I have a guy that can salvage 30%? Helfrich. What is he? I don't know. He's level 5. He's at 30% salvage. So let's put him on that. And he's going to break down equipment that I looted and make tools out of it. I don't think I have any salvageable items in the queue now, though. Workshop. If I press workshop, what happens? Right. Here's my stash. All the stuff I carry in the group. And I think 0 tools means that I have 30 tools now, but to repair the stuff that people are carrying on them and in my stash, it's gonna cost me much more than 30 tools. So I'm gonna need to break down stuff to gain more, or buy. So this I can't get the stats of the items. Right. So I basically want to break down useless weapons that I'll never use on a character. So let's say this axe. See, there's a trick. Very expensive weapons, which usually are 200 weapons, it pays to repair them before you sell them, because it costs as much tools to repair any item in the game, but if you repair, the sell price increases, and the more expensive the item is, the more you're gonna gain when you sell it. So it's worthwhile investing tools. Whereas cheap weapons, it's not you can repair them to use them if they're useful, but it's not worth repairing them to sell them, because it's gonna cost you more in tools to repair them, but then what you're gonna gain in increased sell price. And I wonder, this weapon is 55% damaged. So now I'm gonna get 6 tools from deconstructing all these weapons. Actually, I mean, most of these things are useful. I guess I sold. So either I sell stuff, or I intend to use it in the future. These bastard swords are very good for a good fighter, and this 180 is an expensive weapon to me. 150 is rather expensive. I want to sell those. Look at this axes, 382. If I sell that, and if it's in a good village, I can get even more. So actually, all I'm gonna break down are these 3 items. Maybe it's not even worth having this guy here. I think crafting potion trophies and useful items, I'm not doing that. That's like advanced stuff. Patrol is to protect yourself from being ambushed by a lot of wolves. Like, I needed to have guys on patrol. I didn't, but I don't think I'm gonna need it in, because I'm in the middle of a, like, right outside of a settlement. I'm not gonna get ambushed here, so I'm not gonna have any patrol guys. Training grounds, though. Let's see. So Sigmund the Sergeant, his training is 10%. I don't know. I think whether a seasoned veteran or a green recruit, there's always something new to learn. Anyone assigned to train has a chance to get a 20% increase in XP on their next combat. Time and having highly skilled teachers in the ground increases the chances of successfully learning something new. There's also a slight chance someone can be injured. Training grounds can be upgraded, blah blah blah. Alright, so if I put people on training, they can gain like a temporary perk, so that in the next battle they gain 20% more experience. And on level 8 you need a lot of experience. What else could he do? He could do ammo, or he could repair injuries. I'm gonna train Sigmund. I want him to become more skilled. Randolph the Berserker, he's been with the company for 51 days. He's a good guy. He's got a missing finger. I want to train him as well. What about Hilda? No. Next, Fletcher is making arrows. I had 100 arrows, so I'm not gonna do that. Dieter, he vanquished Oscar the Viper, probably brigand leader. He's some kind of, I don't know, like hunter or poacher or Fletcher. Hunting 20%, scouting 20%, gathering 50%, fletching 10%. Should I put him on making arrows? That's basically gaining money. Hunting is gaining food. That's basically money as well. I think I'm gonna put him on hunting. Dieter. Or should I train him as well? I mean, okay, I only have food for one. No, I'm gonna hunt with him. Where's the hunt tent? Gatherer, hunting. That's the last tent. So this guy, Dieter, he's gonna hunt. Hilda is gonna gather medicine. I mean, where's the gather? There you go. Because that's her best skill, 30%. Or do I want to train her? No, let's gather. Alright. So now I think I have 11 characters resting, and I think that's most of my injured ones. Is there anyone rest? Okay, this guy, Beatrix. Let's train with her. If they're not injured, you know, I probably should train with them. Who's this guy? Athelinia. Alright. There we go. So now I think either if you're damaged, if you're injured, you're resting. Otherwise, you're training, unless you have a specialty that helps the camp. Now, these missions gonna stay with me if I break up camp and go to another place and set up camp again. I'm sorry for this. This is as much for people getting to know the system as it is for me to remembering how this plays out. And to be honest, I haven't quite checked this through very thoroughly myself. Well, I did by a long time. So now we're gonna camp, set up camp. And I'm a little bit... Okay, a forced wear. While walking about the shops of forced wear, you feel a tug at your sleeve. You turn to find a child there with a face smeared black with two bright white eyes staring out. He asks you if you know anything about swords. You gesture toward the one you got sheatheded at your side. He claps his hands. Great! I worked for the blacksmith yonder, but he's away fetching iron ingots. He told me to keep watch of his special swords he was making, but it fell and broke. Fell on its own and broke on its own. Will you help me put it back together? Someone help the kid out. Looks like Torrisman wants to help you. Looks like Robert wants to help you. Looks like Wolfgang wants to help you. No, run along, kid. Wow. So these three guys, I don't know who these are. Torrisman, Robert, Wolfgang. I guess you should know your team. Like, is he a blacksmith? Is he a blacksmith? So I'm gonna have Torrisman help you. Okay, no, I'm gonna go Ram. Someone help the kid out. Athelinia is fetched to help the kid. All right, he helps Athelinia. Isn't that a woman? He helps place the sword's handle and steel together, and the kid works his magic on his own, easily mending the sword back into one piece. You're amazed by his skill and wonder how good the blacksmith himself must be if this is his apprentice. After the work is done, the boy offers to fix some of the weapons for the battle brothers, which you happily accept. So, this random event repaired 4 of my weapons. Good. You know, in this moment, I take any help I can get. Um, Space pauses. So when I press, there's 2 speeds, normal speed and fast speed. When I press, let's see, health points 100%, repaired 7%, salvaged 100%, no one on patrol, training, gathering 13 meds. Okay, my tools and supplies are down to 0. I might as well break camp, because after 1 day, this is what happened. After a well-deserved rest, the company sergeant hands you a report from the previous night's activities. Okay, I guess I'm not the company sergeant. I am like not in the game. Giselher, the apprentice, is in good spirit. Grimwald, the still, is in good spirit. That's good. They're not no longer discontent. After practicing short Gaud for several hours, I think that's guard, Randolph the Berserker is keen to try it out and gains 20% XP increase for the next battle. Middle Iron Door, Sigmund the Sergeant. So these 2 guys will gain a 20% XP increase in the next battle. Strange Meat, Cured Venison, 14 units of medicine. A couple of guys healed a bit. I created 5 units of tools from eliminating these 3 pieces of equipment. I used 8 units of tools and repaired 6 pieces of equipment, but I have 0 I have 0 tools and supplies. See, now, right, wait. So these guys don't need to train anymore. The Berserker, is that him? Yeah. I mean, you have to remember manually that they have trained and gained that 1 term buff. So I'm gonna put, they're both dissatisfied, so I'm gonna put them to rest. I'm not gonna, they don't have any very useful skills. I'm gonna try to make my main characters a bit happy. But how do I gain more tools and supplies? And why is it on 0? I guess I need to go to the workshop and disassemble a couple of items, like this Morning Star. Alright, it's fully priced 90. I guess that's gonna give me 3 tools. This, sure. This is a bit expensive, 210. I think what I want to do is take items, short sword. That's a falcon, I believe. These are nice swords though, like broadswords. 187. So I'll save those for skilled characters. This costs only 13. I might as well deconstruct that. Right. Now we have 13 tools coming in. And I think I need that. Because if I look at my group here, so the stash, let's see. Okay, these 2 arrows means they're being I really need to learn, because I remember there was a way to say repair this or not. Look, this for example has a hammer, so that probably means it is being repaired. Well, yeah. Is this a taxidermist craft? crafting, medicine usage, maximum medicine capacity, faster healing, one heal total. He's an okay guy. Yeah, you know, he has 50, 50. He has some nice stats as well. He's not a bad. I forgot to mention those 2 stars. These stars, the more stars you have between 1 and 3, I don't think you can have 4 stars. Makes it more likely that you have a high increase because it's random how many steps you increase. You pick which one you're gonna increase. I'll show you when I level up a character, but it has to do with that. So he's not great with that, but you know he's a good character. So I'll give him a nicer headgear. So is that still being repaired then? I guess if they started to repair headgear, they want to keep on with that, and I think I'm gonna workshop that because it's such a crappy headgear anyways. Where is it? I can't see where it is. Is that because it's being repaired? I guess so. Um, so can I disrupt? No, interrupt the repair of this. Alt, right click. I can't I can't interact with this item. I can't remember how you remove that hammer because I don't want to repair this. I can equip it. I can equip another item, but how do I don't know. Okay, no, I don't want to Google this. It should just work. So my archers, they have 2 quivers, one on them and one in their backpack. So they have 20 arrows, whereas my crossbow guys, they only have 10 quivers. That because they can fire either one aimed arrow each round or 2 non-aimed fast arrows, whereas crossbow can only fire and reload in one round. So that's 10 rounds, whereas this is between 10 and 20 rounds depending if you aim. Right, I should upgrade an armor. So this guy Sigmund, he already has an upgraded. You can tell there's a plus. Who else has nice armor? Randolph the Berserker. This guy has a wolf around his neck, so that's already upgraded a bit. But Randolph doesn't have, and he's an important character, so I'm gonna upgrade his 115 armor. That's one of the best armors I got, 115. So I might as well right click. Did I just upgrade his? Yeah. Now it's instead of 115, it's 145. Good. But his maximum stamina went down to 75. That's a bit low, but yeah. Alright. Why is he wielding a Morning Star? Maybe he should be wielding a arming sword instead. It actually depends what enemies you're going to be facing. What kind of weapon. So best case scenario, you want to change out weapons before a combat. Why is this guy wearing Morning Star? I don't know. I suppose one day, okay, it has 30 to 45 damage. It ignores a lot of armor, whereas the arming sword. Right, okay, so these Morning Stars, they go straight through armor. That's probably why I'm using those as my preferred one-hand weapon. Okay, there's the training experience gain. You can tell that Randolph the Berserker and Captain, yeah. Alright. Now I'm gonna camp some more because it's in the middle of the night and I can't go into town and buy tools until dawn goes into morning. Now I can buy more tools. You created 4 units of tools, 6 units of medicine. I think gathering medicine is quite easy. Okay, these guys are dissatisfied. Were they even more? I don't know if that's an increase, improvement, or decrease. Maybe they were orange before and now they're yellow. Time to get moving. I'm gonna move into town. I'm going to go to the market and I'm gonna see if they have. They don't have any tools, and I have a feeling I will need tools to improve, to repair my equipment. So no new candidates. So this village is not a good place for me to set up camp. So I will be moving off to the nearest village. I would like to explore this part of the map, but I can't because I'm in really bad shape. So I'm gonna go over to Koningswald here. Relations are friendly. Relations are neutral. There's 2 factions in this town. It has a tavern, taxidermist, Fletcher, temple. So let's go here. And I don't think anyone's gonna attack me. Here's a supply caravan. I could attack that if I wanted to, but since I'm playing a good guy, I should play a campaign one day where I'm a bad guy attacking villages and supply caravans, etc. So you see, it only takes a couple of hours to run over to this village here, Koningswald. And once here, you can tell there are 2 missions. 1 skull means it's very easy. 2 skulls is average, and 3, I even see 4 skulls. When I start losing characters, it's usually on the 3 skull missions. But when I have a full company, I need the money and I want the experience, and but now building up, I think 2 skulls is good. Sometimes you run into very hard opposition even on 2 skulls though, but 1 skull is too easy for me. It doesn't give enough money to be worthwhile the time. The Fletcher sells different weapons. For example, it sells a heavy crossbow for 4,000 gold. Ooh, they sell a staff sling that I wanted, but it costs 1,200. No, I'm not gonna buy that. It's too expensive. No way. 5,000 for a Fletcher's tent? No. I'm just checking prices here. I'll create a document where I jot down a couple of facts. Sling staff. I'll use pen and paper. I'm old school. It's 1,000 is the normal price, but this price I have here is 1,228. I could pay. I could buy a good weapon for a good character, Hilda, the arch slinger. It does 45 to 16 damage. It's quite an increase over a regular sling. He doesn't sell as... Oh, yeah, he's like 25 to 30. So she would be fearsome with the sling staff. But it's just so expensive. Should I buy it? 12 fatigue instead of 4 fatigue. Wasn't she low on fatigue already? 9 tiles instead of 6 tiles range. Oh, it would be wonderful to have a sling staff for her. I really need to increase the combat capabilities. So the worst bow, there's the short bow. I have found so many hunting bows. That's what I'm using. I think there's... Oh, here's the war bow. That's what you want. But it costs 3,500, and I haven't found a single war bow, so I don't have any war bows. It does 50 to 70 in damage instead of 40 to 60. The increase in damage isn't huge. It's plus 10 damage. I can live without that. For crossbows, I've gone from light crossbows, but all my guys have crossbows, which is 40 to 60 instead of 30 to 50. And it's only a 10 increase. Alright, it's more effective against armor, and the range is the same. So I'm good with crossbows. That's fine, and I'm good with hunting bows. I don't have any throwing weapon characters. Okay, you notice here now that I can sell the wolf pelts for 115, and the furs for 466. Let's sell a couple of here. Sell some brains. I don't know if this is a great price, but it's an okay price. So, and I need carrying capabilities. I'm down to 111. Jeez, I used to have so much more. Why do I have such low? Well, that was just examining the Fletcher, what he's got to sell. What else? Taxidermist. I haven't really. It can create useful items from all kind of trophies you bring in. Well, I don't have any trophies, do I? If I have parched skin, third eye, and petrified scream. All right, can I craft that? I think I can. So I crafted a I crafted a necklace for 300. I think I did. Where's the necklace? Oh, here it is. Wow, Alp trophy necklace, 5% experience gain. Are you kidding me? And I think I sold Alp stuff. That's great. So we want to give that to Randolph the Berserker. So now he's got 5% experience gain. Can I make more of that? One. Shoot, I shouldn't have sold those things. Antidote. Cat potion. Nah. Iron Will potion, Lionheart potion. I'd rather. Okay, here there's a lot of Travis Sash, Wall of Cloak. Shoot. Can I go back to the Archer Fletcher and buy back? All right, at least I have another one Alp trophy. Like, so I need to figure out which items can you sell and which can't you sell. Who else needs 5%? I can't. This guy can't. The sergeant already has a necklace. So what about Leif? Dieter? He doesn't have to carry a bag. I'll give Dieter. Is he a good guy? Poacher. Leif. Okay, I'm gonna give Dieter a necklace. Because these guys to go up in level, they need a lot of. And then someone else can carry the bags. See, that's the thing. Carrying a bag sounds great and all. But the fact is that you need to be quite experienced to carry the bags. Because it lowers your fatigue. Only one. Alright. So that was an improvement of the group. Let's see if we can hire some new characters. Look, there's a lot of different. In the vanilla game, you can find maybe 1, 2, 3, but in the modded version, you have a lot of different. And I usually go from the cheapest character to recruit. He's a rat catcher. It only costs 38 to see if he's a good guy or not. He got 3 stars. That's not great. He's afraid of nobles and he's a dastard, so he has wavering morale. No, I'm never gonna. Erland the rat catcher, I'm not gonna ever wanna recruit him, so go away. That was a bad recruit. How about Sigrid the cultist? Cultists, they're expensive to recruit, but they're cheap in the long run to have. They're good at treating injuries. I could use a injury treating cultist, Sigrid. So should we pay 87 to find out if she's a good candidate or not? And if she is, am I willing to pay 680? That's half a I don't think I am. I don't think I am. How about a Fletcher? I like Fletchers. He has 5 stars. Agnes has 0 stars. But Apprentice is good. Always good because they have 10% experience gain. I'm gonna see if Agnes is good. She's disloyal. She only has 3 stars. She's not the kind of recruit I'm looking for. Okay, farmhands. They have uh, good stats. They have good health pools, so they're good meat shields. He's a bit expensive, daily wage 12, but I can live with that. It doesn't cost that much to hire. So let's see if he's Leif is a good. Wow, he's got 7 stars, and melee defense is good. Melee is good. Ranged, I don't need him. He's tiny, so he doesn't do a lot of melee damage. But I could use him as a defensive shield character. He's Spartan, so he doesn't eat a lot. I call this kind of a neutral trait, being tiny. It's good in one way, defensively, but offensively is not very good. But all these traits here, he could make a good crossbow guy because he's both good at ranged and melee. A crossbow guy that could go into melee. I always think I'm gonna have crossbow guys that could change to shield and sword and go into melee. But it takes so long to develop them to have enough hit points and stamina and etc and traits to do that. But I'm gonna hire Leif. He's not a bad character. Okay, let's see. So it's time for me to start learning. Leif has 80 hit points. That's a huge starting pool on level 1. He's 50 on melee. That's okay. And he's definitely okay with melee defense as well. But is range is 31. It's gonna take forever to get him up to a range skill that's good enough for him to use. 29 isn't great. 118 fatigue. He's got great fatigue. 118. Well, that's before I put on any armor on him, of course. You know what? I would like to put on the best headgear I have is this. And I'm gonna give him a shield. And I'm gonna give him a spear, a militia spear. This is the starting equipment. With this armor, he's not gonna live long though. So, do I have to buy armor for him? I think I do. I think I do. Alright, padded leather, 80. It's a little bit damaged, which I think makes it a little bit cheaper. I'm gonna buy padded leather. There we go. So, I'm under the impression that the more damaged a piece of armor is, the better it is to buy it. Is this a good village to sell, like a great sword? I only need 1 great, so I don't need 2. I'm gonna sell 1. Shields, I always use, so I'm not gonna sell those. Should I sell a flail? I think I need 2 flails. Should I sell the Skramasax? Yeah, I don't like the Skramasax. Right. I think I used to have a document that told me how much. Okay, the long axe, that's maybe something I want to use on a character that's good with two-handed. So pitchfork. Yeah, I'll save the pitchfork. Right. So now I can equip my new character, Leif. I'm gonna give him the padded leather. So he has some decent he has some decent equipment actually. I might even give him a better spear. So even though he's level 1, he has 80 hit points and 99 fatigue. That makes him and 50 melee skill. So this character, he's pretty good at being in the front line, which I need. Because I lost so many. I lost level 5, level 4, level 3 characters. My entire team is severely under strength now. But setting this guy up was a couple of hundred gold. Do I have any? I don't have any repair med kits for him. Maybe I should take one from one of my. Because the fact is, melee characters start bleeding a lot more than. I should give him a dagger as well. Why, you ask? I'll tell you later. It's to capture armor. Right. I still need more. Shoot. The tools here are very expensive. The worth is 200 and the buy item is 295. So that sucks. Wood. I'm just gonna buy the wood because I think I can sell it more expensive somewhere else. Do I need more food? Guess I do. Buy some bread. Something else I need to buy here? No. Alright. Let's see how long this stream has gone on for. I've been streaming for. Sorry. An hour and 20 minutes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the stream so I have like an introductory movie for YouTube where I explain the game, and then I'm gonna restart the stream in just 1 second, and this is gonna be a gameplay stream. But I want to sort up in 2 different streams because YouTube doesn't allow me to post movies that are very long. So I'll be right back with a new stream in 10 seconds.